Good morning, you beautiful people. I hope you guys are having a wonderful day today. Xbox and PC players, I hope you are enjoying Ancient Evil. This is the first day it's been out for Xbox and PC users, and man, can I say, I loved it on PlayStation 4, but now that I have it on my own system here with my PC, oh, it is just so wonderful. It's absolutely fantastic, and I love it. I love it so much. And so in this video, I'm just gonna go through a little bit more of my thoughts in depth on all of the different mechanics. I kind of tried to stay a little bit tame to sort of avoid the spoilers for you guys last week, but now let's just go all in. Let's talk about the mechanics. Let's talk about what makes this map so utterly fantastic. One of the first things that I noticed is that the Sentinel artifact is actually a little bit different than it has been on Voyage of Despair as well as Dead of the Night. In those two, it was more of like a power switch or a lever or some sort of, switch where you just turn it on and map opens up. Well, in Ancient Evil, there's just a little tiny mini round or survival type round, kind of like a generator from Origins or some of those generators from Revelations, or a sacrifice ritual from Shadows of Evil. It's not all that extensive. It introduces you to one of the mini bosses of the map, the skeletons. Actually, there's some really nice dialogue kind of explaining the skeletons. If you body shot the skeletons, yeah, they'll go down, but they'll come back. If you kill them with a headshot, that will kill them forever. So that's a really nice little bit of detail, kind of like a mini tutorial there, which I thought was really cool. But also it locks you in that auditorium and it just makes you fight this endless wave, well, not endless, this huge wave of zombies, which if you use strategically, you can actually get a little bit of points off of it, which is really nice to take advantage of, even though it's only 10 points per zombie. But then you get this epic Pegasus coming to save you, and it's super awesome and fun, and it's just it's one of those things where mechanically it's very simple. It's not difficult. You're not going to die during it, but it's just an epic perspective, that, like I said in that previous video, what makes Ancient Evil different? Well, it's that kind of grand scale. It's how it presents, that presentation of all of its mechanics, and that is a wonderful example. Moving on to Pack-a-Punch. Pack-a-Punch is really simple. You have to get one piece, I forget what it's called, but it's some piece, probably like a harness to Pegasus, and that requires you to fight the second mini-boss of this map. It's the six-armed guy with the weak spot on his back and on his head and on his side. Love this concept. He's slow moving, he's got a couple ranged attacks, he'll melee you if you get too close. He doesn't ruin your train, he moves really slowly, he's not like super huge, he's like a Margwa basically, and I really like that about him. The only thing I dislike about him is that he's a little bit too much of a bullet sponge. I feel like I have to dedicate like 2 clips of my gun just to kill this guy, or like half of my gauntlet, which I definitely don't like. So I think that could use a little bit more tweaking, but overall, mechanically, not a bad boss at all. And I love the fact that they introduce him in that way, and the mini bosses in this way as they do here. Then you ride Pegasus to Pack-a-Punch, and it's this beautiful opening cinematic, very kind of like a story, like you're part of the map. The map is dynamic and evolving, and it brings you to a wonderful underlayer type thing in the center of the earth, with the River of Blood, and there's just a huge mythological treasure chest full of amazing things to look at and see here, which is great. And then you have to release these eagles from these cages, and then they kind of break the whatever they call it, the prima material that's like crystallized, to reveal the Pack-a-Punch, which is really cool. And again, mechanically, it's not that difficult. It's not that mechanically challenging, but it's really how it's presented, and it's very presented very well. There's a Pegasus Strike buildable as well as the Shield buildable, both of which are, again, tie very much into the theme of the map, this whole Greece thing, and it's so beautiful, it's so thematic. The Pegasus is actually, for as big and epic as it is, it's really just kind of like a little Arnie or like the homunculus, and it's really not all that mechanically different than those things. It's a monkey bomb, but just kills the zombies around it, but it is incredibly powerful. It's got good range, and I think it actually is pretty more powerful than that, but functionally it's pretty much the same thing, but you just have this huge Pegasus, which is awesome. And the shield is right up there with the dragon shield from Gorod Krovian Revelations, where you have this projectile and you just throw it, and it's a spear, and it explodes, and it kills zombies, and and it just makes you feel like you're a Roman or a Greek back in this time period, and it's so cool and epic, and it's fun. That's the best part about it. That's why everyone's liking it so much. All these things, they're not stuff that we have never seen before. It's not innovative, but man, it's fun. It's presented in a different way, and it gets people excited to play it, and that's great. And of course, the biggest things about this map, the biggest pieces of this map has to be the gauntlets, the hands. It's such a huge deal. We have 4 different elements now, and thankfully it's not like fire, water, air, and electric again. It's a little bit different. We have light, dark, earth, and blood, I think. Is that what it's called? No, we have blood, light, wind, blue, whatever that is. They have 4 unique elements, and each of them are really fun to play with. The first one that I got was the hand of Gaia, is that what they call it? The green one. I got the green one first, and I think that's one of my favorites because, I heard it wasn't all too great and that you have to like line up zombies, but I figured out you don't need to line up zombies. When you hold the charge and you let go, that little dirt path will go wherever you aim it. So like you hold it up, you charge it, you release it, and then wherever you aim is where that dirt path is gonna go. It's really fun. It's really cool, really powerful, and I love how it's really earthy and the zombies explode in dirt, and that's cool. I love the light one, how the light kind of just blooms around the zombies, kills them, and of course, it's the Hammer of Dawn from Gears of War. It's just this light coming from the heavens, which is fantastic. I love that. It's so great. The blood one, though. The blood one is definitely my favorite from a thematic point of view, because when you charge it up, you have this like blood streaming through your hands, and it just looks cool. And then when you shoot it, zombies just melt into the ground, and you see skeleton hands come up from the ground and pull down the zombies. It's little stuff like that where it's like all 4 of the gauntlets basically do, they serve the same purpose. They kill a group of zombies in a very fantastical fashion, but each of them have their unique elements and kind of their subtle pros and cons. And of course that leads us to the blue one, where it's basically a thunder gun. Like you are a thunder gun as soon as you charge that up. And it's really cool how they implement these different dynamics and implement these different perspectives, and they present this in such a fantastical way. And of course the map layout, personally, I find really cool. This is like my bread and butter map layout. It's not a stupid simple 3-lane. It's not this overly complex origins where you can't get from one place to the other. There's plenty of travel paths, there's plenty of portals. It's a small map to start out with. There's 2 maps, both of them are pretty like small, medium sized, so it's not this gigantic map that you have to traverse and memorize all these locations. It's a very free-flowing map, It's not a structured map, so it can be kind of confusing, but really there's 2 or 3 different sides. They weave in between each other. It's really simple and straightforward, and it's really good to traverse. All the perk statues are stationary, so you know where each of them are going to be. It's a really nice map layout. On top of that, like I said in my previous video, the presentation is utterly fantastic, of course, and how they present all of these different mechanics, but also just the map kind of looks beautiful. This underground city with this ancient Greece mythology, it's gorgeous in these statues, and there's just so much history in this auditorium. Then you go into the waterfall, and it's beautiful. Zombies 101 cinematics are going to be so much fun to get. I'm just going to have a field day getting them. And so at perhaps one of the lowest points in Treyarch zombie history, they have just knocked this map out of the park and made history. This is going to be a historical map. When people are like, oh, I love the Chaos storyline. Yeah, I remember playing Ancient Evil. Man, that map was so fantastic. We're gonna be talking about Ancient Evil like other people talk about Origins. Not me, I don't like Origins, but how other people talk about Origins. This is going to be one of those fantastic maps. It's just like Der Eisendrache, where if you're passionate about zombies, there's lots of stuff there for you. The hands, the upgrades, the triple upgrade, the Easter egg is so good. I think this is one of the Easter eggs that I'm actually going to do. We might stream that here in the next couple weeks, and I might get some practice runs done, but hey, that might be something that I'm interested in now, because it looks like a really straightforward Easter egg. The 4 wonder weapons are fun, and what's best, I think what's so good about this map, and what can be good about zombies is that you don't need the wonder weapon to be successful. You can just get Pack-a-Punch, get your weapons, upgrade them, and that's all you need. So, I mean, it's a little bit more involved than that. But basically, you don't need anything to be successful here in Ancient Evil. And that's one of the best balancing factors that they can do. So, wonderful weapons, wonderful map layout, beautiful bosses, beautiful map. This is a home run. Tell me your guys' thoughts about Ancient Evil in the comments section below. I will be streaming this at some point in time. You may have already seen a stream of this depending on when you see this video. My schedule's kind of messed up. Work kind of messed me up, and this kind of messed me up. No more excuses, Doughnuts. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed. Thank you guys so much for watching, and until the next absolutely beautiful Zombies morning, I'll catch up with you guys later. As always, stay beautiful.